What up, what up, what up, everybody? No morning show today, so decided I would jump in and do a little live, I guess, live in front of studio audience taping of my podcast, talking to myself, because I had to be in the studio and do a little extra work this morning so we can get out for the holidays. I also found out last night that maybe I'm not a nice guy. I don't know. I think I'm a fairly nice dude, but maybe not. Maybe not.
It's the podcast, just a bit of a contrast from what I'm used to. I usually have to talk fast, cause there's 4 people sharing the mic. But this is just me, so I say whatever I like. It might be serious, sometimes it might be funny. Sometimes you'll scratch your head and say Brian is such a dummy. But it's just me, I ain't got no help. This is Brian Grimes, and I'm talking to myself.
It is Brian Grimes. It is my podcast. I am talking to myself and whoever might be watching right now on YouTube. This is going to be the wave of the future. This is what we're going to do from here on in 2022. As I pledge to do better about getting more podcasts done, I'm going to try to do it weekly and jump live on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe so you get the updates on that. And then, of course, it'll also live on the iHeartRadio app for just the audio part if you don't want to see all of this. And who wouldn't want to see all of this? So make sure you follow us at The Brian Grimes on all my socials. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and then you can check it out. You can always go back and watch it later. And then you can listen, of course, on the iHeartRadio app. We are not live this morning in Johnny's house because it is, as I record this, the 23rd, so Christmas Eve. And we have been working like crazy between work, and then baby DJ, which, you know, Johnny runs crazy on for like the last part of December. It's time for us to take a little break. We tired, boss. So we're taking a little break. But you can always, at least while I'm doing this, jump on the YouTube, interact. Hello to those that are in the YouTube chat already. It's kind of, you guys will be kind of like the callers if we're, you know, going back and forth. And if you are listening to this later and you want to get into the YouTube chat when we go live, make sure you check us out. I think I'm going to shoot for Thursdays. I think that's the plan. I'm going to shoot for Thursdays, probably like 11:30. So you guys can mark it. But if you subscribe, then you'll get the alert, then you'll know, and everything will be cool. And then hopefully, eventually, we'll get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people that are listening and watching at the same time. So you can do that. Make sure you, like I said, follow us at The Brian Grimes on all my socials, at Yoho Spice Rum for our rum brand, and yohorum.com. It's the perfect gift for the holidays, by the way, and it does power the live stream. Yoho Rum is the sponsor of the XL Studios live stream. So you could go get to Yoho Rum at Total Wine. There is a video that shows you where it is on my Instagram at The Brian Grimes. Legacy, Regency, 2 new stores, Golden Ox over in Claremont and Groveland. Make sure you check out Teak Neighborhood Bar and Grill. You could swing by there, get yourself an Eye of the Storm, which is delicious. They have a few drinks that are made with Yoho, and they're really, really good. And my wife's new side hustle, the Theme Queen, has made a bunch of pudding shots, some using Yoho, that they also have at Teak. So you can grab those there as well, which is pretty cool. And John is a great guy. The staff over at Teak, great people. And then if you are staycationing, the Hilton over on iDrive, I've seen some people posting lately with their Yoho drinks. So make sure you check them out as well. YohoRum.com, at Yoho Spice Rum on social media. So I didn't have to work early this morning. I did come into the studio probably like 6 o'clock, which, by the way, is about 4 hours worth of sleeping in for me because I usually get up at like 2:20. And today I woke up on my own accord at 5:45. I was like, all right, that's nice. No alarm. Just get to pop out of bed. It's pretty solid. So I did that, and I came in this morning. But last night, because I didn't have to get up early this morning, we went out and hung out and had some drinks in downtown Claremont over at Claremont Brewing and Lily's on the Lake, which is a pretty cool spot. They had a really cool thing last night. They had like an open mic thing, but with musicians. So we walked in, and there was guys sitting at the bar with guitars. I'm like, that's weird. They brought their guitars to the bar, but they were the coolest dudes. And there was a guy playing, and then they would just like jump in and jam together and then sing whatever. And I wanted to get up and sing, but I'm not a great singer. I mean, I could do some like karaoke, like Bon Jovi, Dead or Alive. I can imitate other singers, but I don't know that I can sing myself. Maybe someday I'll jump in there and do it. I don't know. But it was really cool. We got a round of shots for the bar, which was cool. My wife and our friend got a round of shots for the bar. We kicked around the idea of something really cool. So I won't tell you what it is yet because we're still like banging out the idea. But once we start drinking a little bit, we start throwing some things against the wall, and I got a really cool idea for Yoho. Hopefully that we can get started in early 2022. Now, if it doesn't work, I'm going to tell you what the idea was anyway, and just hash it out because I think it's a good idea. But we have to get all the details locked down first. It's out there. It's crazy. But it's not at the same time. You know what? I'm not going to tell you anything right now, but I'm going to tell you that it's going to be really cool. You're going to definitely want to follow us. Bookmark the site, yohorum.com, because it's going to be pretty fun if it works out the way in my head that I think it's going to work out. If it doesn't work out in my head the way that I think it's going to work out, then I'll just tell you guys what it was after the fact and, share the idea, and then you can call me stupid, or I can maybe then make it work if it doesn't work. Hang on, I'm thirsty. My throat, man, has been crazy because to get ready for vacation, I've had to do like 6 radio shows a day for the last 5 days. So like in the mornings before we do Johnny's house, I have already done like 2 or 3 shows. Then we do Johnny's house, and then I do 2 or 3 after. It's crazy just to get some time off. So my throat is a little dry. Anyway, so yesterday, hung out, had some drinks, went back to the house, had some more drinks at the house because I didn't have to worry about coming in super early in the morning. And so we're hanging out, and our friends are over, and the people that are over at our house live in our neighborhood. My wife actually sold them their house. And so they know us through that, but they know my wife through the fact that one of them was a listener before, and that's how she found out my wife was a realtor, and she got with her, and now we've become friends, so we hang out. So we're hanging out last night, and I'm not calling her out or anything, but it was brought to my attention that maybe I'm not as nice as I think I am. Like, I think I'm an extremely nice dude, but perhaps, unbeknownst to me, it doesn't come across that way. I don't know. My wife was shaking her head like she agrees. Like, not that anyone was calling me mean. No one was calling me mean, but I guess I don't put off the I want to be your friend vibe. And that's not intentional for me. Like I was explaining to them, like, look, I've told you guys 1,000 times, radio's not hard work. The hours are the crazy part. But it is definitely mentally taxing. You know what I'm saying? It's not like splitting atoms. It's not doing brain surgery. So it's not along those lines of mentally taxing. And I always say it's not like we're throwing sod, so it's not physically taxing at all, clearly. But it is mentally taxing. So when I get up at 2:30 in the morning, I start consuming information as much as I can, so I can talk about as many things as possible with some level of intelligence. So like literally from the second that I get up, and I don't like lay in bed and do any of that, slow roll out of bed stuff. I get out of bed and start, running. So from the second I get up, I'm consuming information, and I'm, engaging with information, and I'm formulating opinions and thoughts, and I talk out loud. So I talk to myself, which is why I named the podcast Talking to Myself, all the way to work pretty much. And I'm, just consuming as much information as possible from as many sources as possible. I have a couple different, radio stations that I flip through while I'm getting ready for the day, and a ton of websites that I roll through as I get ready for the day. So from the second that I wake up, I'm engaging in information, right? I'm consuming information, and I'm formulating thoughts and opinions on that information. Then I get to the station, and I start doing radio shows. So I do my throwback overnight show is always a day ahead because there's a deadline. It has to be in by 5 a.m. for the next night. So I've got to start doing that the second I walk in. So I do that, and I use some of the information, obviously, that I've been gathering for that. And then I got to think a day ahead with that, which is weird because I'm on a throw it out there on a Monday, but I'm doing a show for a Tuesday. So I got to think in those terms as well. And so I do that, and then I finish with that. And I still, at this point, haven't spoken to a person. I've talked to myself a lot, but I haven't spoken to a person. So I do that show, and then I jump in and I start working on my stuff for my afternoon show on Magic. Doing the breaks that I can do, that I can, are kind of, they're not throwaway. They're like breaks that are content breaks that are like station business. Those aren't going to take a lot of deep thought. So I do those, and then I get ready for Johnny's house. And then I start, talking. That's when I leave the studio and go start talking with the rest of the team, which is about 4:30, 4:45. So I've already been, at it for 2 hours before I go talk to a person for the first time. And I always walk past Pat and Bob from JRR. And every day it's like a religious thing at this point. When I walk by them sitting at their desk, I say, fellas, because that's just my greeting to them. And if I don't say it, like Taco Bob's like, dude, you're throwing off my day. So actually, they're the first person that I speak to every day when I walk by. And I say, fellas. And then I go sit and we, put the show together. And not really a lot of conversation at that point. Just kind of a, hey, what's up, guys? And, back and forth a little bit. We joke about some stuff we might have seen or whatever, but we keep it kind of tight because we're going to talk about it on the air potentially. We don't want to, waste it at the desk. So we do that, consume more information. Then I got to get Sacramento. It's another station I'm on the weekends. I got to get Sarasota ready and get those files sent over to Sarasota. So Sarasota's got a show. And then we come in here, me and Johnny, and we get our stuff together and do some, nuts and bolts stuff that we got to do before the show. And then I get the stream ready, and then the show actually starts. So there's a lot of moving parts before we even start to talk. And then it's 4 straight hours of locked in engagement, because it has to be, because we don't plan other than a loose outline. And I might have one laying around. Maybe I don't. A loose outline of what we're gonna do for the day, and it's not even. It's just topics, we're gonna do poetry slam, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. No details about it. That's all we have to go by. So the rest of it is filling in the blanks. And so I got to be engaged with that at all times. Then I have the tech side that I got to be engaged with at all times. All the board stuff that you guys don't necessarily see, the on-air stuff that you don't necessarily see. I got to do that. There's a video component. Sierra helps me with, or Detroit, sorry, helps me with that, which is cool. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into this very simple job that I have to do, which is to talk. And I'm not saying you don't understand how hard it is, because it's not all that hard. But there is, I'm just saying, a lot of engagement, a lot of moving parts. All of this to say that after the show is over, 10 o'clock, 4 straight hours of engagement, I take maybe 2 or 3 minutes to take a deep breath, and then I flip to another station and start doing my afternoon show on Magic, which is a totally different vibe. Totally, especially during the holiday season, it's, all your holiday favorites. We're the soundtrack to your holidays, Orlando's Christmas station. So I flip to that, and then I do that. And then after I do that, I don't have any loose ends that I got to tie up with commercials or something like that or whatever. And then I'm done for the day. During all that time, I'm still engaging with my kid, a lot of times texting him to make sure his little butt's up for school and making sure he's not in trouble and doing what he's supposed to do. Text back and forth with the wife, make sure she's good. Any of that kind of stuff that goes on. So on any given day, on a good day, which is usually Monday and sometimes Wednesday, on a good day, I get here around 3 a.m. and I leave here around noon. That's on a good day. So what is that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 9 hours. I don't do a lunch break or anything like that. I just grab a drink in the studio. So that's 9 hours on a good day. On a bad day, I'm here from about 3 a.m. until maybe 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's when things have just gone crazy, or the end of the week, which is kind of hectic with my weekend schedule, because I got deadlines for my weekend stuff too. So all of this is to say that there's a lot of engagement going on. So last night when we were talking, And I was informed that maybe I come across as a person that doesn't want to be friends with anybody. By the time I've run into somebody outside of this building, I've been engaged in thought, analyzing information or conversation for a good 9 hours. And it's exhausting. And that's the part I'm talking about that's mentally exhausting. That's every day, 5 days a week, and then a little bit on the weekends, my sixth day when I have to do, my out-of-market stuff. Not quite nearly as hectic, but so yeah, sometimes I come out of here and I just don't want to engage in anybody, and that's what I was explaining. I'm not being mean. It's not that I don't want to be friends. It's that when I leave here, I don't want to engage with anybody, and I find myself being short with my wife and being short with my son, because I'm so frustrated about all the engagement that I had to do. Right? Don't mind me checking a text. My wife got something fun for my son. So anyway, I find myself being short with the people that I actually like and love. So and I got to work on that. That's like something I'm going to work on for next year. I'm not working on anything for the next 8 days. I'm not working on nothing. So anyway, but I find myself being short with them. So of course I'm probably short with people that I don't even realize it. I'm like I think I'm one of the nicest people that I've ever met. Not to pat myself on the back, but I feel like I'm one of the nicest people I ever met, and I am I'm weirdly empathetic and not at the same time, because I feel like my general philosophy is sometimes life sucks, suck it up. You know what I mean? So that's not very empathetic, but at the same time, I'm very caring of people. I do what I can to make sure everyone's taken care of, usually before myself, which sometimes adds even more stress and probably leads to me being even less engaging to people, because I feel like, look, I ain't got time to add another problem to my stack of problems. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I was informed last night by a friend that maybe I'm not so friendly. Now, she was drinking. So I don't know. Maybe the drunk tongue speaks the sober truth. I don't know. But if I am less than engaging, if you see me on the streets, I apologize. And I will do better to be more engaging. How about that? I'll do better to be more engaging. If you see me on the streets and I'm less than engaging, I will do better to be more engaging in 2022. That's what I'll resolve to do. But if I'm being not nice, like genuinely being not nice, by all means, seriously let me know. Now, don't be a jackass and say you're not being nice, being funny. Like, if I'm being genuinely not nice, just let me know, and I'll probably be not nice, but I'll work on it. I'm gonna be more engaging with random people outside of this building in 2022. That's my goal. So anyway, this will be the last time I do anything radio for the rest of the year. I ain't lying. I'm leaving the studio today, and I might ride the range a little bit on Red Dead Redemption 2. Maybe toss the football around a little bit on Madden. But I ain't doing no more radio once I leave this studio today. So, of course, you can check us out on social media at The Brian Grimes. Make sure you're following all of my pages. Subscribe on the YouTube. That way you get alerts when we go live. We'll try to do these live things every Thursday. There's a couple people listening right now, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. And eventually, like I said, we'll get a little community, and you guys will be like my sounding board here as we record the podcast. You can check out the audio version always on the iHeartRadio app. I'll ask you to do this if you're listening to this a couple of times before the end of the year. Jump online at xl1067.com and click on some stuff. I got a blog up there that's pretty interesting, and that will make the suits happy that I told you guys to go click on the website. Just take a couple of seconds. You ain't got to stay on there forever. Just click around on a few things at xl1067.com. So at The Brian Grimes on social media, at the, no, not the, at Yoho Spice Rum on social media for our rum brand. Make sure you check out yohorum.com. I'm telling you, we have a really cool idea that's coming in 2022, and if it doesn't, I'll still tell you what the idea was so we can kick it around. But I think it's gonna work, and I think it's gonna be really cool. So anyway, at Yoho Spice Rum on social media, yohorum.com to find the locations. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back in 2022 on Johnny's House, XL 106.7, Magic 107.7 in the afternoons, and of course I'm on the iHeartRadio app somewhere, just about all the time, literally. Just about all the time. I'm on the radio 17 hours a day somewhere. So you can find me. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Have a safe holiday and a good new year. And we're going to be back in 2022 to hang out with you guys.